part of the reason why we've gotten ourselves in this fix of climate change is that people have treated carbon emissions as free, as costless. It's not a part of the problem. Part of the reason that we've gotten into a water challenge is because people in industry treat water as free. So do we need to think about water as a global commodity? And if we did, what would the price be?
I mean, the price, if we didn't, the price would be what we're already feeling. I remember, and I'm an old man, but I remember my first year in university. That's where in the late 70s, early 80s, where we start saying that, we have to start considering water as a good, as a public good. So which is first thing. Secondly, it is also important on one hand, and to make sure that while people have access to basic water services, we also take measure from a policy perspective, measure to avoid waste in the use of water. Because sometimes it's easy to think that, okay, water is free and I don't need to take care of it. The third dimension, which is linked, is how do we fight against pollution at the country level, at the community level, be it in large cities or small cities. We really need to ensure that we minimize the risk of pollution of rivers.
Now, how do you think about privatization processes? We've seen in many cases, where municipal plants suddenly are being taken over by companies. Is it driving more inequality? Is it creating efficiency and improving the water situation? I know there's not a one quick answer to that, but you see the entire range. Generally speaking, how's that been working?
I think well managed is something that I encourage, but well managed, because it depends. When you have in some countries, when the government, in terms of governance, is very well organized, then the water services can be led by the government, by the public sector. But at the same time, the policy, if well in place, and if it's privatized should not mean automatically that the prices are going up. That's where I think the government had to set up the regulatory environment to ensure, for example, something that is very close to my heart, that the population that are at risk of being left behind, that are vulnerable, they still have that minimum quantity of water a month that is free or at a very, very, very cheap cost. Then privatization also means that the government put in place means to control, to supervise and to inspect the quality of water, and to ensure that the private company adhere to the agreed way forward and the existing policy. So I think well managed is not necessarily a bad thing.